Skyrim's most mysterious NPC isn't an elf, man, orc, Khajiit, or Argonian. It's the ball of energy trapped beneath the College of Winterhold, situated in northern Skyrim. The Augur of Dunlane was once a gifted college student who was overzealous in their pursuit of magical power. Their soul became fused with the energies around the college after a failed experiment, resulting in their becoming a formless blob of light trapped in the underpassages. There might be more to the Augur of Dunlane than meets the eye, however. The Reddit user, Delestier, has suggested that maybe the Augur of Dunlane is an avatar of Magnus, Magnus being the god of magic and one of the architects of Mundus, the mortal plane. Magnus ripped a massive hole in the sky when he fled the creation. This is now what we see as the sun, and it's also the source of all magic in the Elder Scrolls. Magnus fled because, like many other gods, he didn't want his powers to be consumed by the creation of a new plane. The gods who didn't realise this soon enough, the 8 divines, butchered Lorcan, who came up with the project, for deceiving them. The Eye of Magnus is thought by some to have been what was supposed to be the sun before Magnus realised Lorcan's plan and fled. It was probably supposed to serve as the light and magic source for the plane. It might be that the Augur of Dunlane, when he was a student, tried to imbue himself with Magnus's power to become an avatar, if you will. An avatar of a god is a mortal who channels the god's energies. The most famous example would be Martin Septim, who became an avatar of Akatosh in the Oblivion Crisis. Martin broke open the Amulet of Kings, triggering Akatosh to turn Martin into a fire dragon and banish Mehrunes Dagon back to Oblivion. There are two sources of evidence that point to the Augur of Dunlane becoming an avatar of Magnus. Firstly, the Augur knows a lot about the staff of Magnus as well as the Eye.
You, and those aiding you, wish to know more about the Eye of Magnus. You wish to avoid the disaster of which you are not yet aware. To see through Magnus's eye without being blinded, you require his staff. Events now spiral quickly towards the inevitable center, so you must act with haste. Take this knowledge to your Archmage.
He's the one who tells you of these artifacts. It's suspicious that he knows of them considering they're so top secret. The Eye of Magnus has been locked away for thousands of years after all. Perhaps the Augur used the Eye in a ritual to imbue himself with Magnus's power, hence why he knows so much about it and the staff. Secondly, there's the fact that the Augur is a big ball of light. He doesn't look dissimilar to the Eye itself. Like the Eye, the Augur is a concentration of magic, and considering that Magnus is the patron and source of all magic, it makes sense that the Augur would be imbued with some of the god's essence. In other words, because all magic is related to Magnus, and the Augur is a concentrated mass of magic, de facto he is an avatar of Magnus. Perhaps the scale of the Great Collapse is testimony to the sheer power behind the Augur's transformation into an avatar of the god of magic. The Great Collapse was an event that saw half of Winterhold sink into the Sea of Ghosts. It might have been the fallout from the Augur's transition, although the evidence for this isn't clear. Members of the college speculate the cause to be a far-reaching consequence of the eruption of Red Mountain, but this was 117 years before the Great Collapse, making it unlikely to be the cause. The residents of Winterhold believe the college was to blame for the collapse. Indeed, the hostility of the then Archmage's letters are perhaps indicative that the college has something to hide. Archmage Deneth wrote to the then Jarl, stating that I would urge you to not allow gossip regarding the college being responsible for the collapse to take root and become commonly held belief. I do not wish to see our relationship crumble like Winterhold has, as I assure you the college will remain here for a very, very long time. This certainly sounds threatening, and from the statement of the current Jarl, I would assume Savos has been equally patronising and threatening to him, so it might well be that one of the college's best kept secrets is that the collapse was their fault, or more specifically, the fault of the Augur of Dunlane, one of their most ambitious students. If this became common knowledge, then no doubt hundreds of angry Nords would storm the college and attempt to burn it to the ground. Delestier has also put forth a compelling theory for the reason the Thalmor Ancano is at the college in the first place. There's a widespread belief that the aim of the Thalmor is to destroy the Towers of Mundus, pillars that hold the fabric of the universe together, in order to destroy creation and return themselves to godhood. Perhaps the reason Ancano is stationed at the college, and the reason he was so keen to harness the Eye of Magnus, was because the College of Winterhold became a Tower of Mundus after the Augur's transformation. Maybe the Thalmor suspected as such, and sent Ancano to investigate. When Ancano learnt of the Eye of Magnus, maybe he assumed it could destroy the college and bring the Thalmor one step closer to their goal. Each tower has a stone, something that anchors it. Stones are magical or physical constructs that allow a tower to focus its energy in order to mold creation. Stones are imbued with magic that come directly from Aetherius. Maybe the Eye of Magnus or the Augur are the stones for the tower of the College of Winterhold. Both the Augur and the Eye are bastions of magical energy, but it would be unusual for a sentient being to be a stone, although not impossible. If the Eye of Magnus is the anchor, then the Psijics taking it to Artaeum for safekeeping would deactivate the tower, basically achieving the Thalmor's aims anyway. This makes me think that the Augur must be the stone because one would assume the Psijics, the world's most powerful and erudite mages, would be aware they were deactivating a tower, unless they were doing so intentionally. All in all, the Augur of Dunlane is clearly incredibly powerful, and at his heart he is a magical being. I think that his being an avatar of Magnus could well explain his mysteriousness, and his transformation of the college into a tower might be the reason why Ancano is there in the first place. But let me know what you think. Is this theory too far-fetched, or does it explain well the mysterious events surrounding the College of Winterhold and its quest line in Skyrim? Thanks for watching this video. If you want to see more, then feel free to subscribe. Also, please leave suggestions for future videos in the comment section below. I make videos on Fallout, Elder Scrolls, and The Witcher, and hopefully in the future Cyberpunk 2077. I really hope it lives up to the high expectations that we all have. Just as a side note, if you're interested, I also have some merch for sale, which you can view on my channel or Teespring. There's no obligation to buy anything though. Watching my videos and being subscribed is more than enough support. I'm grateful to anyone who does so. Thanks again, and I will see you all in the next video.